Hey guys, Sean Zim, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. This is live number 35 on the year, and I have the reason why I do these lives is to educate those that are out there to take themselves, their business, their life to the higher levels. And if you're one that is going to sit back and just listen, hey, I want you to go one step further, jot some notes down, and actually implement some of the ideas, the strategies, the tips that we go over today. I have a great guest. I want to bring him on, and I want to have an awesome conversation that you're going to be a part of, guys. Those that are watching, you are important to us. And if you are watching from any of the social media outlets, drop a comment where you're watching from so we can engage with you when this live is, live for sure. So I want to bring on my guest. Again, let's bring him on. There it goes. What's going on, Tack? How are you?
Hey Sean, how's it going? Yo, really appreciate you bringing me on. I love the work you do, and I love your message, man. So again, I feel honored and really appreciate that you brought me on.
No, I appreciate you taking me up on it. A lot of people are in the Connection Machine group and they are afraid to put themselves out there and get in front of the camera, give their knowledge that they know well is very good and useful to others, but people are very fearful of getting in front of the camera. And I appreciate you taking some time out and doing that with us today. And I definitely want to talk about that later on. But before we even get into it, I would love for you to give us an introduction of who you are.
Okay, great. So I'm Tack. One of the founding partners and managing partners for Chantactic Consulting Group. What we do is we actually help business grow. We help people do, business and life coaching. So our core philosophy is that your future is going to be greater than your past as long as you make it that way. Plus, at the same time, the only limitations that you have is the limitation that you fight for. So we firmly believe that you have all the abilities in yourself to succeed and to grow. At the same time, sometimes you just probably need someone to help guide you. So that's what we do, and we also guarantee our results. So what we do is we actually do 1,000% guaranteed on your ROI. So whatever you invest in us, we're guaranteeing you to make at least 10 times that amount. And we're doing that by giving you the first session for free. And if any of the sessions you feel like, hey, you didn't get at least 10 times that value, then don't pay for that session, because we're out there for a mission to help people grow and help people to make sure that they achieve what they want to achieve.
No, I love that. And I like how you said you're looking to help people grow. A lot of people are only in it for themselves. What's in it for them? You actually will take some time out, have a conversation with the prospect, find out where they are currently right now, and then seeing how you can put and propel them to higher limits later on by some strategies. So I think that's awesome. And I think that is important to have that mindset going in and finding out how you could help somebody, providing a solution to a problem.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. And I think that's where we align very well, because like I've seen your shows, I've seen the messages that you deliver, and it's great, man. You bring a lot of value to people, and I can't thank you enough for doing this.
No, it's something that I found that if we give value consistently, that is the best way of marketing, the best way of advertising, the best way of promoting yourself. But a lot of people have that fear. They have that fear because they think they don't know enough. They didn't, you have books there in your background, which is awesome. We were talking before we even went live about how important it is to read, to educate yourself so that you can better yourself going forward. You don't have the time to sit into a classroom or go to a workshop, but you can read and find out what has worked for others. And the big thing is implementing that. What are some problems that you're seeing with people? Is it implementation? Is the content? Are they're not sure where to get the content? Is that some of the things that are coming up for you?
So I would say there's a couple of different things, right? So I feel like a lot of times it's the way that societies has, essentially trained us. I hate to say it that way, but it's kind of like that, where, with the school system, it's it was really designed back in the industrial age where we're trying to look for, factory workers and things like that. So like, and Robert Kiyosaki actually, under Rich Dad Poor Dad right there, talks a lot about it, saying, hey, like, in real life, like, the more you work together, the better it is and the more successful that we can be. But in school, they teach you, all right, if you work together, you collab together, that is actually cheating, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it. Mindset is huge. So when I say, like, so I'm actually certified in NLP, neuro linguistic programming. That's one of the core philosophies, that we believe that everyone has the capabilities and the actual potential to succeed on their own. The only thing is that sometimes they're not allowing themselves to succeed because they're fighting for certain limitations that they have. So as a coach, what I do is I talk to them, I get them to kind of draw out the answers themselves. So then they actually realize that at the end of the day, hey, I did this, I did this, I put in the effort, I came up with the solution. Because there's a difference between a coach and a consultant. A consultant gives you the answer, but a lot of times, like, you learn the actual factual piece of it, but you don't
Mm,
actually learn how to be resourceful. As a coach, we a lot of times know the answer, but we draw the answer out of our clients. So then that way they learn to be more resourceful. But more importantly, a lot of it is psychological too. So Ed Milet says this, all right: confidence is grown by keeping promises to yourself. So when we are able to draw the client to come up with the answers themselves, they kind of see, okay, originally I had this problem. I'm promising myself I'm going to achieve it. And then when they actually achieve it, it's like, holy crap, I did this myself, right? And then that gives them momentum to move forward. So that's what we really like to do. We want to make sure that they're not just getting the answer, that they know how to be resourceful and have that faith, because they need that faith to really have that confidence to move forward sometimes. And then, kind of like you said, sometimes, hey, people have the knowledge, they have the ability to, like, share the information, like you said, but they're afraid of, going onto the camera, or, afraid of public speaking. What most people don't also realize is that almost everything that you want in life is on the opposite side of fear.
yep.
So when you're doing things that might be fair, I'm not telling you to jump off the Empire State Building, right? But the thing is, like, if you realize, hey, there's a certain thing that you're not doing in life or in business, then that's actually probably a clear indicator, as that's the thing that's holding you back. And by slowly doing it, taking one little small step at a time, is going to actually drastically increase your business or
I always
life.
say that if you have to become comfortable being uncomfortable,
Yes.
because a lot of people like to be complacent. They are happy where they're at currently, and I'm happy, but I also have my challenges now. And what our big topic is dads who are entrepreneurs. So now you have to really change your mindset. You have other things to worry about with another human being, another human life you have to take care of. It's not all about me, what I want to do or what you want to do.
Hmm.
It's now our family and how it's growing. How has, and congratulations, being
Thank
a
you. Thank you.
dad, how has that changed you and your business, your entrepreneurship?
Oh, wow. So it's definitely a big change, and lack of sleep is real.
Yes, yes.
So I just recently wrote an article about it. But the thing is, being a dad is very similar to of being an entrepreneur, especially like a small business owner. You're flying at the edge of your seat, all right? You're learning how to do a lot of different things. So since I became a dad, I became a singer, I became a dance, I became a chemist. you know like, I need to dance him to sleep. I need to learn how to mix formulas, even though he's, mainly breastfed. There's a lot of things that you're not going to know what to do. Unfortunately, you don't know what you don't know as well either. So it's always good to listen to, professionals. In my case, listening to, my mom, people that I'm friends with that already have, are parents for a while. and realize that, a lot of their advice works, but also understanding that every child is different, just like every
Yes.
business is different, right? So the big part of it is kind of knowing how to adapt, knowing when to take the advice. Also, exactly like you said before, it's no longer about you, right? It's about your child. You also, one thing that I thought a lot about is kind of having the end in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So with business, a lot of times, okay, you want to know exactly what your desired outcome is, because a lot of times we're just keep on going and going and going, and we don't realize what's going on. Same thing with raising my child right now. Like I gotta think, okay, what kind of a dad do I want to be? What kind of person do I want him to grow up to be? Not that I want to, have a very strict course of life for him, but I also want to make sure, that he has certain principles that I want to instill on him. So I'm Chinese. I actually gave him a Chinese name. It's actually Chen Zhenlao. So
Mm.
what that means is that the two symbols is, one is zun is like growth or forward. So I want him to consistently grow and moving forward, whether it's, in business or just something that he likes. I just am a firm believer that you constantly want to grow, because if you're not growing, you're dying. And
Mm.
then the next symbol is law, which is happy. So I want him to constantly grow, and I also want him to constantly be happy. I want to give him the choices that he can choose, but I also want to make sure that I set him with the tools where no matter what is, what falls on his life, that he can handle. And doing so, like, I gotta make sure, all right, I can't spoil him. Um, it's one of those. It's a little hard because, like, he's almost like me and my wife joke around about this. Like, we're saying he's like a little terrorist and an angel at the same time, right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
And witching hour is real.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like my eyes are a little chinkier than normal just because I have a lack of sleep right now. But it's the most rewarding thing. And same thing with growing a business and starting a business. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be having its challenges. But I promise you, at the end of the day, it's going to be much more rewarding, and it's going to be great knowing, having the end in mind, knowing what the outcome is, and making sure that everything works out. Because at the end of the day, the depending on who you are and what your personality is, chances are, if you're starting your own business, it's better than being stuck in the 40-40-20 trap.
Yep.
Are you familiar with the 40-40-20 trap?
No. Well, I guess 40 hours. I'm going to
Yes.
guess 40 years, maybe.
Yep. Yep.
And then
Yep.
the 20, I'm not sure. 20, maybe the 20.
Retirement.
Oh, okay. All right.
Dude, you're smart. You're awesome, man.
I try. Well, I do a lot of reading. I try
Uh-huh.
to. You taught me something as far. I love how you name your name for your child is mean one is forward, and then also being happy. Always having that focus going forward and being happy. And an entrepreneur, you have to be that way
Hmm.
because not everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows. You're going to have really bad days. But if you can keep that mindset, how do I figure out to get back to the happiness? Because you're going to have those days making phone calls, meetings are not going to go the right way. But having that, I have to keep moving forward. I have to be happy. And that is awesome, I think, to have as far as in a name. That's awesome. American names, we don't have that kind of very, creative, and you can have really well thought out names, and I think that's awesome. That's incredible. You set him up for success in a name, and that's fantastic.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. But a lot of it's like, having that end in mind, because like, it's I'm a big fan of Zig Ziglar. That
Yes.
anyone that like knows me, like, no, I absolutely love him. And one of the saying that he says that I'm a huge fan of is, are you a wandering generality, or are you a meaningful specific? Are you walking through life just wondering where you're going and wondering everything and just letting life happen? Or are you going to make something happen out of it? And then the other example he used is like, you can have the most powerful magnifying glass on the sunniest day out there, and you can't, and it will be impossible to light a newspaper on fire if you move it all around.
Mm.
But if you stick it on one place and have it focus, it'll burn up like nothing. So in business, we gotta realize, okay, what's the end in mind? What am I going to be focusing on? Because a lot of times, like, you're thrown in all different directions. Same thing being, a father. It's like, oh crap, he puked. Oh wait, I'm trying to get this, bottle warmer. Oh wait, he just spat up. I need to get, a new bib. And then same thing with, business. It's like, oh crap, this month's bill is due. Oh wait, this customer is calling me right now. Oh, this other fire is coming up. But the thing is, like, we just gotta learn how to juggle with it, and we need to learn how to focus, because there's a big difference between being productive and being busy, right? There's a
Mhm.
difference between being reactive and creating. So those are different things that is really really important, which I hear you talk about a lot too. So again, really thank you for doing what you're doing, having a connection machine, and having all these awesome conversations with people.
It's something that I hope everyone takes me up on it. I hope those that are watching reaches out to you and connects with you and has a conversation. If they and he gives out he gives out the first session for free. You have a conversation, see if where it's going to go, if it's the right fit for you. But what's the worst that can happen? So you have a call, you talk to TAC, and it might go somewhere, it might not, but you won't know until you have that call. So I tell everybody, make sure you reach out, make sure you're always connecting. Is there any final thoughts you can give with us today?
So I'll give it on both sides. So on the business side, I'll share the number one mistakes that well, not mistake, the number one issue that I've seen with most people is that they don't know their numbers. So the biggest advice I have, if you can know your numbers and you can know how to sell, then you have more than half of your business taken care of. That's the first part. So as being a father, I would say, especially being a new father, a new parent, patience. Patience
Mm.
is a huge thing, and learning how to juggle. My biggest thought is just would be, let's just all help each other out. And again, Zig Ziglar quote: "You can have everything in life you want if you can help enough other people get what they want." So let's help each other out, guys. Talk to Sean, jump on here. There, if you're afraid of public speaking, you're afraid of jumping on the camera, it's like Sean said, what's the worst that can happen, right? Like, you learn out of it. You had a good time, you have an awesome conversation with an awesome dude. It's, at the end of the day, almost everything you want in life is on the opposite side of fear. You don't know what you don't know, and we're all out there to help each other out.
Well said. And I appreciate you coming on. And I challenge those that are watching, reach out. Let's get you on a live. Let's have you give us great information that's in your head that you are afraid to give. You can give it and it's going to come out phenomenal. And then you'll get hooked and you'll enjoy doing video. You'll continue doing video because video is the way to market, I believe, the best way, because it's you being the most authentic, the most real you. So those that are watching, reach out to TAC, have a conversation, give me a call. I always do posts and I put my Calendly out there. So a lot of people take me up on it. Some don't. And I see them. I'm like, how come you're in the group and you don't reach out? Reach out. Let's have a call. Let's see how it can go, how we can help each other, find out if there's a problem we could both solve, and let's collaborate. And TAC, I appreciate you jumping on. Guys, his number is 856-202-7999. Reach out to him, have a call, friend request him, message him. I tell people, let's all connect, because the more people that we're all connected to, it's all friends. We're having, going back to with your son, we're all going to be happy because we like working with who we work with, right? So I hope that you guys learned something, implement some of the ideas that we talked about, share this live and any future segments that you see, and continue being you, but also trying to change you. That's what our goal is, to try to help people become a better human being than you are today, tomorrow. So thank you so much, TAC, for being on today. And I appreciate everyone tuning in. Until the next one, hope you guys have an awesome day.
Thanks, Sean.